Detroit, 1914. The city was alive, a cathedral of steel and ambition. Ford, Chrysler, General Motors. The factories hummed like heartbeats. And in the midst of this mechanical dawn, rose a promise. A small wooden chapel called St. Agnes. In 1920, the chapel became a church. Reborn in limestone, arches, and faith carved into every stone. Gothic spires reaching skyward, French stained glass catching Detroit's light. A place where the working class found their heaven on earth. By the 1930s, more than 3,000 voices filled these pews every week. Children learned. Families prayed. The choir of St. Agnes sang for the living city. Then came war. As Detroit forged the machines of victory, St. Agnes forged the prayers that held the city together. Ribbons of remembrance lined its altar. Names of sons who went to war and never came back. The church became a sanctuary of mourning. But when the war ended, something else began. Factories slowed. The faithful moved to suburbs. And cracks began to spread, in walls, in neighborhoods, in belief. By the 1950s, the choir still sang, but the echo lingered longer than the voices. Summer, 1967. Detroit burned. The city tore itself apart. St. Agnes stood only blocks away, watching the flames rise. 5 days of fire and fear. The faithful fled. The choir fell silent. Where there was once communion, there was only sirens. By the 1980s, fewer than 50 came to Mass. Pews were empty. Roofs leaked. The church became an echo chamber of forgotten prayers. Once, they sang hymns to heaven. Now, the wind sang back. In 2006, after 90 years of devotion, the Archdiocese of Detroit closed St. Agnes. The final Mass lasted less than an hour. The organ played one last hymn. The echo of Amen dissolved into dust. The building was sold, renamed Martyrs of Uganda Parish. But the faithful never returned. Vandalism followed. Fires. Theft. Silence. Detroit moved on. And St. Agnes was left behind. Today, St. Agnes is a cathedral of decay. Benches buried in dust. Columns cracked like bones. Stained glass eyes blind to the world outside. Urban explorers call it the Cathedral of Decay. They say the air inside feels alive. Some hear whispers. Others, hymns with no singers. And a few claim to see shadows kneeling in prayer. In 2012, a group tried to resurrect it. But the price of salvation was $5 million. Too high. Even for heaven. Now, pigeons nest where the crucifix once hung. The altar blooms with moss. And etched on the pulpit, almost erased by time, still reads, Deus meus, quae derelicisti me? My God, why have you forsaken me? They built it to glorify heaven, and left it to be swallowed by earth. Here, prayers turned into echoes. Faith turned into dust. And silence became the only hymn. St. Agnes still stands, not as a church, but as a monument to abandonment. This is Dark Atlas Files with DAFile #0102ST. Agnes Church, USA, where faith echoed. Now only dust prays. Subscribe for the next file.